basically it was an accident. And all throughout my years as an expert, now almost 10 years, um, a sales funnel has always been the key to an easeful six-figure business. I've had five six-figure years using Kajabi. And whether it's been yoga or it's been my done for you services as a Kajabi expert, a funnel builder, a website designer, no matter what you do, whether you have a product-based or a service-based, whether you're a coach or another service provider, sales funnels are essential. The truth about funnels is that you don't need more content. Okay. You don't need a container for your conversion. You need a container for your conversion. That's what your funnel is. Funnels is not a tech stack of like a funnel is not Kajabi, right? Um, a funnel is the spine of a sold out business. Okay. They hold power so you don't have to, right? Because we cannot hold power all of the time. We're humans. We need a break. Um, so what actually is a sales funnel? Because so many people, I think, get this wrong. And it's not their fault because there's a lot of crappy information out there. Um, so it's not a landing page. It's not an email sequence. It's not a tripwire. A funnel is the intentional path that turns resonance to revenue. Oh, I like what she's doing, right? It meets your client where she is or he and walks them where they need to go. So you've probably seen this model of a sales funnel before with different words, and these are really common ones: awareness, interest, desire, action. And kind of the old school thinking was like, oh, awareness, they're finding you, like on maybe on socials, and then the interest part is like maybe they sign up for something like a masterclass and they start to kind of like, get in to see what you're doing until the bottom they actually pay you. But I actually think of this as a very different way. And this whole funnel, a lot of people think, oh, well, you're not getting like the real money until they've made it all the way through down here. And that's really not true. And I'm going to share with you today some direct strategies that I personally am using and my agency is using um, to make this make sense, right? Um, so I want you to actually think of these levels as awareness, like she sees your content, whether that is um, on social media or somewhere else. You're kind of, in the ethers of her mind. Interest, she leans in, she watches a reel, she watches a video you've done. Maybe she hops into your master class. You're kind of starting to pull her in, right? Desire, she can see herself inside of your offer, and this is because of landing pages, which I'm going to get into. Action, she moves, right? She sends you a DM, she sends a payment, etc., right? Your funnel is the invisible nudge at every one of these moments. Without it, you are going to be hustling and stuck in the DMs and following up with people and feeling really crappy about your sales process because it's going to feel like it's going nowhere. So there are a few key elements of sales funnels, and this is like the technical side, okay? We're going to get into the strategy after. So each strategy is going to look slightly different, but generally speaking, the popular ones we have an opt-in, right, which is our lead generation. So say they hopped into a masterclass or a PDF. We have our sales pages, which are doing a bulk of the work, selling our upsells, etc. And then our emails. Too many people sleep on emails. People who get emails from like marketing emails in general, they buy like something insane, like 233% more than people who do not get marketing emails. And emails as a whole have over like a 600% return on investment. So like that you invest into that is like a 600% return. It's insane. Too many people asleep on emails. Uh, Yeah. So, and I just want to debunk this. People often think funnels means you need to run paid ads. You do not need to do that. We do need to figure out how am I getting traffic to my opt-in, right? But you can do this without ads. I ran an ad to this class. I absolutely love that. Love that for me. Um, but you don't it's not necessarily like I need to run ads if I'm gonna have a funnel. Does that make sense? So I just want to say, if you have an offer and it's not selling or it's not selling the way that you want, it's not because you're not good enough. It's often that the audience is confused, whether that's too many choices or whether that your messaging or structure of how you're presenting the offer isn't clear enough. We're going to get into some examples here in a moment. So, no matter how magnetic your offer is, no matter how magnetic you are, what kind of energy you're in, right? If the journey isn't clear, they're not going to go through it, right? They're not going to go through your funnel. If it's not super clear, what their next step is, right? A funnel makes that next step really, really obvious. It makes it feel really safe. It makes it feel desirable. It makes them feel led. So these three things, opt-in pages, your landing pages, sales pages, and emails work together. And I want you to think they're like the symphony, like moving your offers and moving your business along behind the scenes. They have the power to make you money as you sleep without you lifting a finger. Absolutely. But if you don't know the right format for these pages, the right copy, the right things to say, you can easily lose a sale within 3 seconds. This is the most mind-boggling thing about our industry today. It's absolutely appalling to me. We literally have 3 seconds for someone to decide, yes, I'm going to look into this further, or now I'm going to keep going. So that means whatever is above the fold before they have to scroll on whatever page email they're looking at is of vital importance. And this becomes even more important when you're running ads. Okay. Um, so today I'm going to share with you my private client templates that have been proven to convert at 60% and above. I've tested, tweaked, looked at, strategized, look at the stats, tweaked again for these landing pages, like opt-in pages, sales pages, and emails. Um, they're converting it this much, and sales are converting it around 40%. Um, but first, I want to show you that this is working for real people, and I'm not just like blowing smoke up your, peach. Um, Let me show you some real people. So this is my client, Aislinn. She's been a private client for years. And we often do launches in Kajabi. We do both live and evergreen. Um, these screenshots that you see right now are from a live program we're working on turning into an evergreen funnel. Like a lot of people that I work with, Aislinn has a ton of programs and has been a little bit like, oh, I don't know about the funnel side, and now is really open and diving into it, which is speak my love language. Um, and so we're taking those programs and turning them into funnels that can, um, move with her so she doesn't need to be launching all of the time. So this is just a little peek. This ended up being more like 60 sales to this low ticket offer. So it doesn't have to be a free opt-in for the funnel. Her funnel starts with a low ticket offer. And this is just what her, like revenue looked like in the last 30 days. She's done over 800,000 on Kajabi alone. She moved to Kajabi a few years ago. And she celebrates 20K months frequently. She has, from her funnel, people who pay her 16,000 painful for her one-on-one coaching and have done so like 3, 4 times over. Because the funnel is nurturing them. Um, and so the real reasons funnels work, they don't convince, they clarify, right? They're not pushy, they're potent, right? They don't rely on you being online 24/7 to sell, right? They turn your brand into a body of work that moves people while you rest, right? So you're still out there doing your thing and the funnel's supporting you. That's what I think is so gorgeous about this. This is my client, Katie. She's an industry leader. And when she first came to me, she was getting people who would totally lowball her every offer. They'd be like, is there a coupon for that? And she was mostly doing readings. So she was literally trading time for dollars, like this amount of money for 1 hour, and really getting burnt out. And so we started working together privately and made some new funnels. We're actually making another one right now, as well as tweaks to her emails. So and she's currently hovering at, actually, I should have updated this. She's over at 15K for the month already, and way more free time in her calendar. Um, I forgot to update this too. This ended up being like a 3K offer. She also did a low cost entry level ticket, um, upselling into a larger program. Oh yeah, there they are. Yeah, this is now 15 something. So this $2,700 revenue was for a 90-minute class essentially. So yeah, it's fun. So you're absolutely in the right place if you want to turn sales trickles into waves. Um, if you're kind of new to funnels or nothing is work in your business feels like it's working, you feel like you're spinning your wheels and you just get like tiny gains. Or you kind of had shiny object syndrome with your offers, like, oh, this one and this one and this one. Um, finding like 100 ways to actually solve the same problem that your clients have. I find a lot of my clients, they do have like a huge offer suite. When I look at Aislinn, she has like 30 products that we could sell at any given time. And it's just about optimizing those. So, because you cannot promote 30 products at once. Okay. If you stay to the end, I'm actually going to give you the free lead magnet bundle. This is available for Showit and Kajabi. Showit is a website platform if you're not familiar. And this is going to have your opt-in page, excuse me, sorry, template totally done for you. You just have to plug in your details, as well as a totally optimized thank you page, which goes right into your upsell. So this is everything you really need to like start getting leads into your business and probably making quite a few sales. So why is it important to learn how to set up a sales funnel properly? More money doesn't come from more effort. I want you to hear me when I say this. More money comes from optimization. So you don't need to work harder. You need a system that sells. So if you're tired of selling in circles, the funnel is the part that you've been missing, right? Um, and so together we really calibrate a message that magnetizes, a journey that converts, and a system that sells so you can breathe. I don't know. Well, I'm going to tell you about myself in a second. I'll wait. Um, like you're one person, you cannot be on, X client call, 3 client calls a day, giving your most at marketing, making sure you're posting every day, being the best mom, dad, parent, spouse, right? Um, my whole philosophy is like you came here to enjoy life, not work through it, right? Like I want to be able to take off whenever I want. I want my business to just support me because I want to take my kid, strawberry picking on a random Wednesday. Um, and the really important thing that I really want people to take from this is like you can't outpost a funnel, right? You can't outpost on social media what a funnel will do for you in the background. This day and age, you're super lucky if like 20% of your followers are actually seeing your social media posts, and this stat is taken right from Instagram. So literally nurturing sales through a funnel is the only thing that makes sense in order to drive your business forward. For me, I deeply care about optimizing your revenue and your revenue generating activity so that you can maximize your profits and stack income. Like that, I deeply care about that. Um, and I also care about freeing up your time and being able to live the kind of life that you want, right? I don't want to be tied to my desk, and I'm sure that you don't either. Um, Something I really want you to realize is if you're a coach, you're getting paid for your brain. Same also with me, like I'm a service provider and still getting paid for my brain. People still need my strategy. And when I'm in this nitty-gritty, you know, sales process or sending emails or doing manual follow-ups, I'm not at my sharpest. And so I need to be at my sharpest in order to give my clients the best so that they can have the best experience and the best results. Um, And if you're stuck in the weeds, if you're doing like a lot of that mundane day-to-day admin stuff, when you're creative, when you want to be, you know, on calls and like having deep conversations and creating new things, you're going to be creating low quality. But when you learn to let your funnels work for you, the process becomes so much easier. Your sales time process is going to be like cut in half. Um, so your funnel does the heavy lifting for you. And what I see with a lot of people is like they have really high income months or they have like a lot of yo-yo income months, meaning like, you're having 3K, 5K, 10K, 12K, 15, back down to 5, right? Um, you're never going to be like I have some clients like, oh, I have this, paid in full, this one person paid in full. I don't have any other recurring payments for this month. What can I do? Like, I want to create some cash flow. You're never going to be feel like you're stuck for cash. And this builds confidence because like every time you look at your phone, you see opt-ins have come through, sales have come through. Okay, great. Like it creates this confidence in you because your business is moving even when you aren't. Um, and when it comes to funnels, like I understand if you're here, you're probably not that techy. It feels foreign. You probably feel like, I don't know about this, right? Like I should just showcase my client, like took her years to accept, okay, yes, I want to do funnels, right? Um, but what I'm about to show you today changed the way I run my business, and it's going to change yours too if you decide to take action. So here's the structure of the training. I'm going to teach you the three crucial pieces of a sales funnel, and where you're going wrong and what to change to make more sales in your business. I'm also going to do a live demo of my templates and show you how easy it is to use them. The demo will be on Kajabi, but the templates are available in Showit as well. Um, and only then, if you love this training, I'll share with you my brand new offer that will make implementing this into your business 10 times easier and more enjoyable. Deal? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. Um, and if you're watching live, there is a huge bonus that is especially for people who are joining live today. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well. And for those of you who just joined, you'll also be getting my my leads bundle templates, if you stay to the end. So some of the things that I really hear when people start contemplating about funnels, they're like, yeah, I already know I need a funnel, right? Knowing it, looking at the funnel feature in Kajabi and being like, should I create one? Knowing you need one, understanding a funnel enough to implement it and get actual results is a completely different ballgame. What is working in funnels and in marketing right now is changing so rapidly than I've ever seen before. Like I said, I've been doing this for like 10 years. And literally what's working in January is not working today. Like that's how fast we're moving right now. I constantly have my pulse on like what's happening in marketing, what is trending, what's working, what's not working. Looking at stats is one of the things that I geek out over. Never thought I would say that. So really understanding what it's going to take is completely different, is what I'm saying. Anyone can build a funnel. Not everyone can build a funnel that actually converts. Um, I've often heard funnels don't work for me. And I have said this, me, the funnel queen, I have said this about myself, okay? Years ago. Um, and I had to realize like no one's gonna come save you and be like, oh, I'll do it for you, I'll fix it for you. Or like you have to decide you're gonna make this work, right? If you're gonna invest time into this, like be the person that flips this to like, I'm gonna make this work for me. And that was me even just last year, like I was like, oh, passive products don't work for me. Oh, funnels don't work for me, even though I build them. And it was just like a mindset thing and me really getting over a new identity of like, yes, I am the person that sells digital products easily. Yes, of course my funnel is working, right? Of course my funnel is converting at 60%. So you do not need to have years and years experience to have a highly converting sales funnel, just FYI. And you don't need to have a website necessarily either. You do need to know the insider secrets that I'm about to share with you. So you never have to chase a new lead, another sale, do manual follow-ups, or worry about, like, again, where's my next sale coming from? Here's my guarantee to you on this training. Um, this isn't like anything else out there. Where you're gonna like hear from fluffy tips and whatnot. Like I said at the beginning, I am like straight, direct to the point. And so this is what I promise you about what is coming up here. Um, so if you haven't met me before, I am Nisha Ryan. I own a design and marketing agency called The Aligned Pretzel Inc. You can find us at thealignedpretzel.co. I'm a multi-six-figure sales and business strategist, 10 years in marketing and sales strategy. Um, Kajabi Award winner, that's very recent. My best credential, I'm a mama to a 20-month-old. I am a single mom. Single moms who know how to get stuff done, I'll tell you that. These are just some of the softwares that we're really proficient in as an agency. And our clients have been featured in like the Amazon bestseller list, the New York Times bestseller list, the Manifestation Babe podcast, all sorts of really amazing places. So a funnel is not just a few emails or a magic fix for your offers or a lead magnet. Um, it can make you money in your sleep and bring in new leads without you posting on social media. And it can sell your offers with so much confidence that you don't care if someone ghosted you on your Instagram or how many likes your last reel got. So let's really kick this off into the nitty-gritty technical part, shall we? So let's start with the top of the funnel. So the top of the funnel where is technically where people find you, their interest. So for most people, that's going to be social media. But obviously we're going to skip that because this is not social media training. So the top of your funnel is essentially going to be your lead magnet if you're doing something free or a low paid offer, right? A big mistake I see people make all the time, and these are two pages that we've created, is that they don't have this opt-in above the fold. Meaning, if I have to scroll to opt in, chances are I'm not going to opt in, especially if you're running ads to these pages. The structure is so important, and that's why I've developed pages, which I'm going to give to you, that convert at 60%, because just not having the right structure is enough to someone say, again, we have 3 seconds, right? I have 3 seconds to say, does this visually vibe with me? And am I going to opt into this? What am I getting out of this? And you'll see that on both of these, we have like a very clear name of like, what are they actually getting, right? What does it include? And an action for them to do. Remember, we're leading people all the way along. Um, Lead magnets are very important because they are the attraction piece, right? In some ways, they're more important than the sales page because that's likely where they're going to go first, right? And like I said a few minutes ago, what's always changing, what's always working in marketing is always changing. So we're always optimizing and watching trends. So here's what not to do in your lead magnets, right? And this is a really important piece, which is why I'm giving you some free templates if you stay for the whole training. So make sure your opt-in is above the fold, not below. So meaning they should be able to opt in without scrolling. Don't state the time if you're doing something like a master class or a challenge, something like that. I will state the date, but I never actually state the time that it's happening because people will get on the page and they'll just be like, oh no, I'm working, I won't even bother to opt in. You can put the date, but don't put the time. Um, Again, you don't want people to kind of like self-cancel themselves before they've had a chance to actually experience you. Um, Gone are the days where you can just be like free masterclass or free trial, right? Like we need to explain like what are people getting out of this, right? We really need to be specific of like in this class you will, right? Because people are like, what am I getting out of this? And like, how is this worth my time? Make sure you stray away from like big files or pictures on these pages. It will cause there to be a longer load time, which is less likely for someone to stay and actually opt in. Remember, we have 3 seconds. That is all we have. Here's what you do. Here's one of my pages. Well, both my pages, but these are on my personal pages. We really need strategic layout and copy to pull the client in right away. Again, we have 3 seconds. That is it. That stat is so mind blowing to me because, like, literally just a few years ago, it was 60 seconds. The way human behavior is changing is so crazy. Um, so yeah, we really need to have the strategic layout. So you'll see that I'm very strategic in how I have this laid out from the header to the information they have in the middle from where the call to actions are. These landing pages have opt-in rates at 60% rate or higher. And today, looks as much as function and copy does matter, right? So we have that like visually, emotionally, we're connecting with the person, but we're also matching that logical part with like, here's what you're going to get. And that is what's going to make someone act, whether it's a opt-in page or a sales page. Let's play this for you just a quick second. So The secret to funnels is fully optimized email funnels and landing pages. A couple emails is not a funnel, okay? Um, you'll see in this kind of demo of one of our pages, they see the value before they even get in touch or press buy, right? And you'll see there's some mock-ups coming up, some real client experience results as well. So if you can match, see these mock-ups, well, they're really like case studies. If you can match the copy on your page with something visual like mock-ups, like here's what I'm talking about, you are going to accurately convey the value to the client without feeling like, oh, you get this and you get this, and then like having them to read through a bunch of copy. See here in more mock-ups, right? It visually very easily helps them understand the value that you're giving. So for the second element, your sales page. These are some of the sales pages we've done, obviously. Same thing applies. Strategic layout and copy is really important, all the way from the call to actions. And the same thing applies where we need above the fold an opportunity for them to buy. Think about how I know how I go through sales page. I'll look at the very top, right? If they've got me within 3 seconds, I'm scrolling all the way to the bottom. I'm looking for the price. That's all I'm looking for. And then if I am cool with that, then I'm going to go back and read the copy and make sure it's for me. So think about how you peruse sales pages because that really helps us determine consumer behavior and then how do I lay out the page? Okay. So this is actually a retreat slash course page that we did earlier this year. So again, we've got really strategic copy and layouts. We've got a banner that's going to pull someone in. Our call to action is right there. And we use a lot of videos on our sales pages. It's been shown that on sales pages, if you have a video, of course, it needs to be short. It increases conversions by 60%. Pretty awesome. Um, and again, we have 3 seconds to pull someone in, so that emotional part where it's like, oh, she's captured because it's beautiful and pulling her in, she sees herself there, but also the logical between the copy and just the actual layout. Do not have just a checkout page. Don't do that. We used to see that all the time, especially in my early days, 2017. Oh, just have a checkout page. You'll lose a lot of conversions this way. Okay. Make sure your call to actions are strategically placed. So for example, I always make sure I have a last call to action at the end of every page because it's not consumer behavior to scroll back up to look for the price if they're the person who scrolled all the way down to the page, right? Um, and don't miss handling objections right on that page. Any objection that someone might have to your offer, you want to handle that right on the sales page with, say, FAQs or a video. Meet my client Cass. She had a signature training for corporate women that she was running on the weekends for like 4 hours. And she had done this several times, ran it 3, 4 times, and she was about to go on mat leave, and she was like, oh shit, what am I going to do? Because that was her sole thing, right? And so we took her offer, restructured it because what, 4 hours, like she was running for, corporate women burnout training. And then it was a lot of training. And they're like, this is too much. They were getting more overwhelmed. So we restructured the training. We ran it live one more time with this new structure, and then turned it into an evergreen funnel, which is still running. And she had a 6-figure yield while she was on mat leave. She was not online at all, and she continues to have 15K months on Kajabi. The third piece that we're going to talk about is your emails. People really underestimate the power of emails. When I gave a client email templates to implement, so my email templates, you can see here her sales increased by 233% in 1 month from a one offer. And so it ended up being almost a 20K month for her that month. Um, One of the things that you can really do to help elevate your funnel and drive more sales in your business is on your sales pages, in your emails, etc. Have money back or return on investment guarantees. So if you're doing something like maybe you're doing a viral reels course and it's like, okay, so if you don't get these many views and make this many sales in the first 30 days, email us, we'll send a refund, right? Or we will work with you until you get these results. Don't put yourself in any situation where you're going to be like burned by someone, obviously, but think of ways that you can um, put a return on investment guarantee, a money back guarantee that because you feel so strongly about your product, you know you've invested time into that or your service, um, that they feel so much, this makes people feel so much safer buying because it's like, oh, there's a money back guarantee. Okay, fine. Like it's okay, it's okay. Throughout all of your pages, even the opt-in pages, offer references without being asked, which basically means testimonials, right? So for us, you'll see lots of like sliders in our pages for client testimonials. You'll see more like case study types, and you'll see you know just like literal client quotes. And then we also use this in the emails. We really storytelling marketing is really hot right now because people really like see themselves if you tell like a short story of like, this client came to me and she was like this, and now she's doing this, right, whatever. um this does really well, right, in the email. So you can see like 70% open rate. What? Yeah. Um, so now you're clear on the most important parts of a funnel. I would love to give you like literally download from my brain to yours everything I know about funnels. I can definitely cannot do that in one presentation, but these are the most important parts for you to set up, right? These are like the key pieces, right? So let's talk about some strategies that are working right now. Again, this is always changing. Um, So the ever more popular free masterclass to upsell. So just like this, you are hosting a free masterclass, and you are immediately upselling right on the thank you page. A lot of mistakes, which was like really like common in the past, that worked in the past that people are still doing, is not upselling right on the thank you page. That's why I'm giving you an optimized thank you page that goes right into the sales page essentially. Um, and not asking for the sale in that direct email. It used to be like, oh, do 5 emails of value before you ever ask for a sale. People's attention spans just aren't that large anymore. So you want to be asking for that right away in that case. I've given you 2 examples of paid low ticket to upsell. So this could be like a paid challenge. This could be like a paid masterclass, which drive you revenue right now, but you still upsell to the next thing. So for example, when I showed you the client Katie, she's doing a 90-minute class, which is going to upsell to like a group program. So like there was a $77 offer to a $497 offer, with a VIP option of like 1,000. So it made some great sales for her. Can also do like a PDF. Um, uh, Cassandra, one of the things we did was the PDF was a free download, and then it upsold into a mini course that was related to the PDF. It was basically like you make a mini course and the PDF would be like part of the resource. Um, and then a VSL, which is not as common, but if you're looking to bring on more like private clients, one-on-one coaching, if you're a service provider, a web designer, etc., this is a great option. And this basically stands for video sales letter, which would be essentially you have a pretty much a sales page with a short video at the top. I'm kind of inviting the clients to either like opt in or apply, and you'd have like a bunch of testimonials sprinkled, how we would work together, the kind of results people got, that kind of thing. And it's usually like to book a call. That's usually the call to action from that. And then you get someone on a sales call and you close that. Um, so from here, you have 2 options.